Welcome, everybody, to That Kind of Nerds podcast. My name is CJ Millen. I am joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
Before you get started with, I'm sure we have an amazing list of topics lined up. I do have a listener request that needs to be fulfilled.
Absolutely.
So, a longtime listener actually helped build our logo. Melissa Castillo now had her birthday Thursday, the 18th. She asked for a very special shout out.
Feliz cumpleaños!
Yeah. Sure.
They don't want to hear. She doesn't want to hear from me, so she wants to hear from you two. So
You're Spanish now.
She wants to hear from someone very special, CJ.
Oh no, Bane!
I was told that someone was celebrating a birthday.
Bane, has it gotten so low that you'll do birthday announcements now?
It is a
Gotham
little
City-
fucked up when Bane comes on. Is like, is there a birthday in the house?
Since my failure to rule Gotham, I will take any job, CJ.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Melissa Castillo. Feliz cumpleaños. When the birthday cake arrives, I'm sure the fire will rise.
Oh man. Happy birthday, Melissa.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for our website and our podcast. So we greatly appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
Bane's
Now we may proceed with the show.
Bane's doing birthday announcements.
I wonder if Paul is offended or somehow has been verbally assaulted by the poor Spanish contained within.
All right. Well, now that we have gotten all the birthday messages out of the way, and you know what? Now I'm opening up the floodgates. If it's your birthday, you want Bane to say happy birthday to you, just reach out. It is now time to talk about.
I will take any birthday request, CJ.
What about Batman's birthday? If it's Bruce Wayne's birthday, would you?
Yes. No, I wish him a happy birthday every year by breaking his back.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It is
One
time.
year, he will have my permission to die.
It is time to talk about the world of movies in a segment that we call Screen to Screen. Let me first start off with this. Everyone saw Creed, right? The movie Creed?
Yeah.
I'm not a communist, so yes, I did.
Okay. And we all liked it. And the thing
None of us
I
saw
liked
the
about-
band Creed, though.
I did,
Oh,
sir.
no.
Oh,
I did,
No,
sir.
someone did see the band
CJ
Creed,
saw
and if you here's what CJ saw. I'm sorry. With arms wide open
It's so bad.
under the sunlight.
Yeah.
So bad.
Okay. What we liked about the first movie, Creed, was while Sylvester Stallone was involved, his hands weren't all over the movie, right? He wasn't writing it. He wasn't directing it. Maybe he got a producer credit, but that was about it.
He got nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor. His hands were in there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he wasn't writing.
He just was acting, yo.
I don't know.
Some acting
Sometimes
stuff.
you just gotta write a script. None of us are Ralph Garman, therefore we can't do that. But the news has officially come out now that Sylvester Stallone is going to be writing and directing Creed 2.
I just read he stepped back from directing.
It is coming out November of 2018, and we officially have some casting news on who's playing the villain and a little bit of the plot, because Ivan Drogo's his son is fighting Apollo Creed's son. Like, literally, we're remaking
Rehashing Rocky
movies now.
4.
I am totally okay with this. Who's playing?
Some boxer. He's got a glorious beard.
Florin, big nasty. I can't even.
Florian Munson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Romanian.
He's like
boxer.
a real boxer.
He's
Like
a Romanian boxer.
he's gonna lay Michael B. Jordan out.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a real boxer, which brings a little bit of authenticity to it. He's actually Russian, which is
Dolph
also
Lundgren
nice.
was a real boxer.
Dolph Lundgren also has like a PhD. Like, the man he's going to take over the world. Like, at that point, he could
actually
be the.
may at this point.
Yeah, he may just do it. But I was curious about this. Sylvester Stallone's got his hands on this more than Creed 1, and we're redoing a Rocky movie essentially. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think that we're having son versus son kind of thing going on?
This is a 41, 42-year-old franchise at this point. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't give a shit. Yeah.
Listen, are you gonna go see the movie on your cheap ass movie pass?
No, of course I will.
There you go.
I would see it even if it wasn't my cheap ass movie pass.
The defense rests.
All right. I award you
Lawyered.
I award you 9 points then, if that's what we're gonna do.
No, who said we were keeping points? What the hell?
Whatever, just take some
Brian,
points.
I always get points.
No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter because if we are keeping points for wittiest comment, Josh is going to win anyway because CJ always lets Josh win.
I get the points.
15 points for Brian for pointing out my hypocrisy.
Oh my gosh, I'm winning.
All right, so the other news that we
exciting.
got, there is a full-length trailer now for Super Troopers 2. And what started off as just like the little Indiegogo movie that has turned into, hey, there's some pretty good cameos and pretty good people in this movie.
Of course
Freaking
there
Rob
are.
Lowe is
Everybody
in
wants
this.
to be up in that movie.
Yeah. It's going to be great. I only caught Linda Carter and Rob Lowe. Who else is
Jim
in
Gaffigan, a couple, Will Sasso.
Jim Gaffigan was in the first one, so it makes sense.
Okay, Will Sasso, and just a couple other comedians throughout the area. But I was utterly surprised. I was not prepared for Rob Lowe to be in this movie at all.
I was not prepared for Canada in this trailer.
There was a lot of Canada, eh?
Like, what is going on with the Canadians?
What's going on about that? I'm sorry, that was mean.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. So what do we guys think? What do we think about the first trailer for this movie? Does it look as good as the original? Are we going to be let down like we were with Zoolander and Anchorman, or are they going to pull it off?
That's what you're setting up. You're setting up your SmackDown argument about how it's been too long.
I'm asking if the trailer gave you confidence in this movie.
Jay Chandrasekhar gives me confidence in it. Broken Lizard gives me confidence in it. This is what kicked off their entire life. I can't see them fucking it up.
Brian, what about you? I mean, you've been around the block when it comes to sequels like this. How do you feel?
I agree with Josh. Does that get me points?
Asking for points? 5 points.
Woohoo!
I actually am very excited for this movie. I think this is the exception to the rule, and I hope that this shows that if you come at a script not about making money, but actually about going back to the right characters, getting to the roots, and in their case, asking the fans and getting the fans involved to make this thing possible, and not selling out to the studio.
You mean asking for money?
Yeah, but because they went to the fans for money, they don't have to go to the studio and then compromise their film. That's the better way to do a movie like this than going to a studio and having to do whatever.
You can
do.
make this movie for $1 million.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some more money in there.
I'm bought in just for the scene where Farva grabs the mic. He's like, all right, repeat after me. I pledge allegiance. and a bunch of Canadians are in the audience. It's fantastic.
Rob Lowe's like, I'm very excited to learn what it's like to be an American. And yeah, I love Rob Lowe, and Rob Lowe in comedy is fantastic. The man's got the
He
best
found his
comedic
true
timing.
calling when he started doing some more comedies.
Yeah.
Like, he's good.
But he
it looks great.
He always plays his character from Parks and Rec. Everywhere you
That's
go.
okay.
I'm okay with that.
He's always Chris
agree.
Traeger.
That's okay.
Chris Traeger. Thank you for the name. Yeah, he's always playing Chris Traeger.
How much would Rob Lowe if Rob Lowe could Rob Lowe?
Enough Rob Lowe. 10 points for Rob Lowe references.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally winning. This is fantastic.
All right. I feel good. I feel like this is good for Brian, just to bring up his morale here.
I'm so excited right now.
Just spoiler alert. At some point toward the end of the show, CJ is going to award me 500 points, and that's going to be the end of the game.
Fuck you, Josh.
I don't know. We'll see. You want 500 points for pointing that out.
What the fuck? No.
Somebody's closer.
And in case you forgot when Super Troopers 2 is coming out, they have a date that's very memorable. You can't
It's
forget
probably
it.
4/20.
Yeah, April 20th. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
2018.
was going to be 7:15. 9/3, because 9 is divisible by 3.
I thought it was the 7th at 7.
It's only going to be released at 7.
It is now time to go ahead and take a look at the world of comics. See how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, how it's affecting the points that Brian may be getting, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk. I'm going to win this.
Hey, I just want to say, because we just heard Brian's just wonderful voice singing that Cape Talk theme, 500 points.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I'm ahead.
You get the points for being dropped in.
What would it sound like if Creed sang the Cape Talk song?
Oh, what would it sound like?
Cape Talk.
So if you're on the verge of superhero burnout and you think that there is no end in sight, don't worry. Marvel has her back by releasing another Marvel TV show surrounding superheroes on Freeform. We talked a little bit about it, Cloak and Dagger. What they have done is they released a little teaser, a sneak peek. It's a 3-minute segment about the two main characters meeting and kind of discovering their powers. And the last time we talked about this, we didn't. Josh, I don't know about you. I didn't really have a lot of exposure to this, and with Freeform, I'm always nervous that it's going to turn into Marvel's Runaways, which was not good at
Really?
all.
I hear nothing but great things about Runaways.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to.
This show, I remember when we talked about it before, is basically just super dark and sexually charged. So
Yeah.
I'm out. That's all it's got going. All it has going for it is teenage angst. And I like that. Look, there are three things I hate. Okay. Teenage angst,
Right.
intolerance towards other cultures, and the Dutch.
That's right. You know what? 150 points for the Austin Powers reference. I'm imagining, Josh, when you're talking about this and how you're out and just it's full of teenage angst and all that, I'll imagine you as like going to a Shark Tank and some ABC executive is pitching and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm out.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
They do that dramatic music.
But I think you can actually you can look at that for me in all aspects of my life. And that includes people, right? Somebody walks up to me and starts a conversation, and the minute they start gossiping, I go, I'm sorry. Here's where I eject. And I fucking walk away.
Here's the thing. A lot of critics liked Runaways, which really was the same kind of premise. A bunch of teens discovering their powers and then kind of going on
each other, discovering their sexuality.
Yes, actually, a lot of that is happening in Runaways. See, in the Runaways, there was a character who's just a social justice warrior just to the max. And it's almost like someone ran into one and was like, I should put one of them in my TV show. Every single thing was offensive. It was incorrect. And instead of educating anybody about it, she's just yelling and belittling everybody. And then when it's her turn, when she is offensive, when she does stuff that's out of line and she doesn't connect the dots, there's no consequences, nothing. And they beat you over the head with this agenda. And it's so annoying because I get it. And if you want to put that message in your show, fine, it's your show. Put it in there. You be the show. But like have some integrity behind it. Like say something worthwhile. But I mean, every time my wife and I were watching her, she brought nothing to the table. We were just utterly annoyed. Like I couldn't take it. So I'm afraid that this show is going to turn into the like angsty Dawson's Creek and then have something to say too, because we've got two different characters in there that are total opposites of each other. And I don't know. I'm worried about this because I don't trust Freeform to handle this with care.
I know we're currently talking about the Freeform show, but then you referenced the Runaways, and I have to address if you're taught. So the moment the SJW angle comes into play, I pull the ripcord hard. I get out. I just don't want any part of it. I'm not generally an advocate of YouTube. I don't follow a ton of people, but everyone listening should watch Awaken with JP being a social justice warrior, and you will understand.
Yes.
You will understand. You will understand thoroughly.
I will put the link in the show notes.
My frustration because of his humor. So, listen, if Cloak and Dagger is something beyond teenage angst, and if they're not pushing an agenda, I think it's probably going to be okay. It's still not something that I'm going to watch. But as I've said 1,000 times before, give me all the comic book fodder. Give me all the comic book entertainment. Give it to me, because people are going. Some kid, this may be their favorite show ever, and I'm not going to judge them for it. It might be okay.
Absolutely.
But contextually, I probably won't identify. So I'm not about it, but it's probably going to be okay.
And I just want to be clear that what you just said better articulates my feelings towards the Runaway. It is definitely not for me, but if you identified with that character and you identify with that, it's good for you. Like I want people to find something that they're passionate about. So if that's you, great.
Be about what you're about.
Yeah,
and be about it passionately.
Now, Brian, you got to watch the little sneak peek for Cloak and Dagger. So I'm just curious. It's a 3-minute long video. What were your impressions about where the show's going and just kind of these characters?
I mean, it's going exactly where I thought it would go. I don't think it's going to. I mean, I don't know about Freeform. I think it would probably be better served on another network if you want it to be done tastefully, not even tastefully, like just correctly. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of teenage angst because that's who watches this network. That's what they identify with, and that's the market they're going for. And to be honest with you, if that's who you're going for, Cloak and Dagger, probably a really good set of characters to go after that, because I mean, that's kind of what they're about. They're, Tandy is and why can't I remember Cloak's name? They're teenagers when they first meet, and there's gonna be that teenage angst. As long as they don't make it like this, like, oh, we're in love bull crap, because they're not. They're really like become best friends. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to check June 7th off of my calendar and be like, better be home for this one.
It's Tyrone, by the way.
Tyrone, thank you.
Yep.
But I will definitely probably, when it's on demand, I can watch a couple episodes at a time. I feel like this is going to be a show that you're going to have to give it 3 or 4 episodes before it kind of finds its footing and kind of gets moving.
Right.
And then it could be really good. It could be really bad. The 3-minute thing didn't really give me any knowledge into whether or not this is going to be a great show or not. It's going to be a show I give a shot, and we'll see where it goes.
I do like the fact that they are playing with, the differences between the characters, and maybe that is a thing that eventually unites them, especially when they're both, somehow superpowered, which they didn't explain, which is fine. I want the show to explain it. It looks interesting. For me, this is a show that once it is done its run, and I kind of see how other people feel about it, I will binge watch it and get my own opinion. But this is not something I'm going to watch while it's still on the air. This is something I'll binge in a weekend. So the last aspect of Cape Talk is my favorite, one of my favorite Marvel movies to come out for a little while. The plot is very complex, so I just want to explain it very quickly to you, just for those of you who haven't watched it. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. That last part.
That's not correct.
Very important.
I'm not a Raboon.
So people have been asking James Gunn, hey, when is Volume 3 coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? When's it coming out? He went on Twitter and just said, coming in 2020.
Good.
Which, by the way, now 2020 has never seemed further away.
It
seemed like it was
has
right
to
around
be
the corner.
2020. The Guardians are going to be in both Avengers movies, which releases this year, 2018, and 2019. It's got to be
both
2020.
the Infinity War movies, right?
It makes sense.
And you're thinking that's going to be, is that the big release of the year for 2020 is Guardians?
Well, I don't know what they have on the slate for 2020 anymore because things have changed.
But you would think
But with
by
the
the time
six-
they do Guardians Volume 3, they would incorporate other Avengers. That it's going to be more of a ensemble, like even more of an ensemble movie than it already is.
Even if it's not, even if at the end of the Avengers, they're like, okay, hey, we're going to peace out to space and you all have fun on
It
Earth.
doesn't necessarily have to be I'm sorry. I was far too broad with my paintbrush there. I'm thinking Doctor Strange and maybe 1 or 2 other ancillary characters that have been introduced.
Sure. But yeah, it's definitely going to be their big one that year. I mean, the only other movie I can assume is going to come out that year is maybe Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And I mean, again,
So if it's at the top of the summer, maybe we have one towards the end of the year or something kind of.
they'll do what they've been doing every year. You're going to see a Marvel movie come out in May. You'll see another one maybe in August, and probably one in November or December. They've been very good about 3 a year for the past 2 years now. So
Give me all the comic book movies forever.
yes,
Forever.
One every month for the rest of my life.
You know, for speaking his truth, I give Josh Burns 250 points.
You've like narrowed the margin to like 100 points now. What the hell?
You know what, Brian? There's obviously a possibility for more points to be given to you. And what I love to do
Points
is
are
to
great.
go around every week, look at the internet, find the weird, find the obscure, and I love to ask for a tech perspective. Oh my God, how long is it?
Well, he brought in a sax player this week.
I noticed he went Kenny G on it.
No, that was Kenny G's clarinet. He brought in a
what?
sax player.
Did you just correct me? 100 points to Brian for not standing there and correcting me when I made a mistake.
You make mistakes all the fucking time.
Brian, have another 50 points, buddy. That's 300.
It's also an alto sax that Kenny G played.
I want you to imagine me in this situation as the John Bender.
Take perspective. Oh God, the whisper at the end. The whisper at the end. 100 points to Brian for your whispering end.
Oh, man. If I could do jingles, I'd be getting points like crazy.
So back in December, Warner Brothers had talked about there's going to be a new Harry Potter game coming in 2018. Everybody's very excited. Well, we now just got news that there is a mobile game coming out called Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. And I have a couple issues. First off is the title. The Hogwarts has no apostrophe. It's not possessive at all. It's multiple Hogwarts.
Maybe Hogwarts, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Hogwarts is plural as it stands.
But wouldn't it be plural possessive then?
There should still be an apostrophe.
There should still be an apostrophe.
There should still be an apostrophe at the end, but not between.
So right
the T
now,
and the S.
the way this is, Hogwarts doesn't own the mystery.
Correct.
It's someone else's mystery that is maybe like possessed by that
Now,
other school.
when we talked about these Harry
They're
Potter
not even
games,
sharing the mystery with Hogwarts. What does Hogwarts have to do with this mystery? I'm really
Could
confused.
it be
'cause
a
they don't
thing
own
where
it.
it's like where they're eliminating, they're putting in brackets, it's a right? It's
Right.
a Hogwarts mystery. Like, I think as little.
do you see how much work we have to do to understand the title? No,
I have to. I like giving very little leeway grammatically, but
I know you do.
I see where they're going. I don't like it because it doesn't look right, but I get it. Okay, all right. It's a Hogwarts mystery. That's wonderful. They could have just said it's a Hogwarts mystery, and I would have been fine. But you're right. This is off-putting.
All right, 50 points for Josh for at least making an articulate argument. So before you get all very excited, this is not like the Pokemon Go-esque Harry Potter game. This is something completely
This is a different thing
and
that no one will play.
Exactly. This is the
no
game
one cares about.
that no one cares about, that no one asks for, and no one's going to play. I mean, no. This is not. I mean, to be honest, I really don't want another Pokemon Go thing, but like, I don't want this.
I got to tell you, I'm curious what the mystery is. I might play.
Is this a mystery of how Dumbledore shampoos his beard?
Dumbledore.
Yeah, I'm
Dumbledore.
gonna minus 50 points, Brian, there for not being able to pronounce Dumbledore.
Saying it.
this-
Just saying it.
Is this the mystery of why Snape's nose is so big?
Minus another 50 points for another stupid joke.
Wow, this is
I'm
me.
going to go ahead and subtract another 50 points for insulting Alan Rickman.
You don't control
can't
the
do
points.
that.
You don't control the points.
You know what? You're absolutely right. By the way, that's a minus another 50 points. And don't
I'm
ever
only
tell him
leading by like
hey,
25.
Don't ever tell him that he can't control the points. Minus 100. You are now at a 100 point lead.
This is just this is you're
By the
targeting
way,
me at
if
this
this
point.
is your first episode, we never do points. Just welcome to how my brain is working tonight.
CJ is the NFL officials right now.
There's no rhyme or reason. There's just
help! I'm being oppressed.
oh, man.
25 points for the Monty Python reference.
You know what? Josh is getting the 25 points because he's giving out points.
What the hell?
You know what though? That's not really fair. So 25 points also to Brian, so that way he gets his
Okay.
Monty Python reference.
I don't even know where we're at right now.
Just so you know,
Doesn't matter.
that basically is like awarding Brian 0 points. So if Brian still has a 100
Am I
point
still
lead.
ahead? That's all I care about.
Okay, so
No.
enough with these stupid points.
Am I behind?
Yes. We're going to have to go back and review the tape.
Brian Roman, I know I can count on you, man. I need a point count at the
Josh
end of this
Burns
episode.
is calling a timeout on the field. He'd like to review the tape.
No, well,
I need a booth review at the moment.
so back to Hogwarts Mystery. Is this a game that people will play? Do you think that the hardcore Harry Potter fan will be like, just a Harry Potter thing, yay?
Yeah, I'm
Can
going
actually
to check it
do
out.
this?
I'm going to check it out because I am a hardcore Harry Potter fan. I'm going to check it out.
But are you going
ju-
to be spending like $100 on it like you did with
Well, no, it
Pokemon
doesn't
Go?
sound like this Hogwarts not possessive mystery is going to cost me money.
Oh, sir, there is
Oh,
no
I'm
such
sure
thing
there
as
will
free
be.
in the world.
There's no
a
such thing as a free mobile game.
pay to win, pay to play, time limit on a certain thing.
Well, the thing about apps is they are free. Like at least at the very least,
Yes.
you can function.
But I know
if you're willing to wait.
You hate waiting, and you value your time.
It's definitely going to spend. I'll end up spending money. I will disclose fully how much money I do spend on this, but I don't anticipate it's going to be much. I downloaded this 8-ball pool game, and I play pool. I shoot pool on my phone, which is really not shooting pool because you can see all the angles and it's got an arrow and you know where you're shooting essentially.
You're basically cheating. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's all cheating. But I've probably spent $50 on that.
I saw Pool Hall Junkies, and I'm almost positive they had all those arrows.
Bro, Pool Hall Junkies is among my most underrated films ever.
I love that movie.
So good. So good.
Anyway, I think this game will be like every other mobile game based on a giant property, and it'll be great for 6 to 8 months, and then nobody will play it. Just like Pokemon Go and Mario Run and all this stuff.
Are we talking about this game to talk about Wizards Unite? Because
there's no new news on
that's
Wizards
more
Unite.
Interesting.
See, that's the thing. There's no new news on that, but you're absolutely right. That is the game that I think people actually want. And I think that's the game that people are actually going to play and spend money on.
Still don't know what it is.
Neither do I.
Do I
but
catch wizards?
But let's
what I
be
need is EA Sports to come up with a Quidditch sports game that's like Madden or FIFA.
Any other studio besides EA, please.
No,
any
EA's
other studio.
Amazing. They're the best.
I'll take THQ, which I don't even think is in business anymore.
THQ's bought by Activision. It's a subsidiary of Activision, I'm pretty sure.
No, they can't do sports outside of skateboarding or snowboarding.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was one of the greatest games ever.
50 points agreeing with that one there.
You're preaching to the choir over here. I am the master of all Tony Hawk games.
But here's the thing. It comes down to this. This game, while interesting, it's not going to have any mass appeal. And just like Brian said, it's going to be a 6-month life cycle if they're lucky on it. No big deal. And then once we actually get this real Harry Potter AR game, that's kind of when things come into play. I just kind of wanted to make sure that everyone's on the same page that this is not the same game. Don't get too excited and don't be the sap who plays, $20 in there. Josh, this next one, I am focused strictly on you, looking at your nerdy life, to get your feedback on this topic. BMW wants you to pay for CarPlay every year, making it an annual subscription.
Do they want you or are they going to force you? It's BMW. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much at that point, and like we talked about the other week, everything's a subscription now. They were at the Detroit Auto Show. They basically told reporters that they are making people pay for this. They're framing it as that this is allowing customers to switch devices, and a lot of people buy CarPlay and think that's okay, but then they stop using it or they switch to Android. So they want the ability to go back and forth between CarPlay or Android Pay, and apparently that's worth paying an annual subscription to. Which
why are you looking squarely at me for this topic?
Well, number one, you are an owner of a BMW, and I'm curious if this would impact you at all. And also, you're a man who knows the value of a subscription, and is this worth it?
Do I strike you as the dude who's gonna say $80 a year is too much for convenience?
But here's the thing: they're not doing convenience. They're putting a fake limitation on you.
No,
they're not doing anything to upkeep the CarPlay. They're not doing a thing.
So currently, they're charging $300 for the addition of CarPlay to a vehicle. Right?
Sure.
It sounds to me like what they're doing is instead of that, any car that is currently equipped with navigation will have CarPlay enabled. And for the first year, it'll be free. And beyond that, you'll pay $80 a year. So every time I get a new vehicle, the first year will be free. And I say that because I'm never buying another car that isn't a BMW.
Right.
Not ever. Ever. I mean, never. Ever again. So $80 a year for everything to work damn near flawlessly. Yes.
But what does BMW add to the maintaining of CarPlay? That's Apple's.
Listen,
that's Apple's responsibility. BMW is not going to add any features.
If you're buying a car and they're already charging you $300, okay,
right?
Well, so 80 times 5 is 300. That's 5 years. That's the average length of a car loan.
Right.
And they're waiving that fee, giving you the first year free and charging you $80 a year. That's $320. So I'm sorry, I did the math wrong. 400 is 80 times 5. I don't know how that happened in my head, but either way, you're ending up paying the same amount of money.
Well, it would take you 3.5 years to pay off a $300 add-on of Apple CarPlay. So if you keep the car for more than 3.5 years, you've overpaid on just having one little feature on your device.
A feature that I can't live without.
Yeah, but why charge it at all? Like the $300, that makes sense, but why turn it into a subscription? Like they're adding zero value.
You've used CarPlay, right?
I do. I use CarPlay.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Would you pay for
I would pay yes, but I would want to be able to recoup my investment on that pretty quickly.
If it's essentially a wash, if you're saying you're paying $300 now, or you're going to pay $320 over 5 years.
I guess here comes my issue. If I keep the car for more than 4 years, I've overpaid for my CarPlay feature.
Not quite. The first year is free, so you're going to pay $320 over 5 years.
Well, it's overpaying by $20.
Over 5 years. What's the amortization on that? Who cares?
All right.
It's $4 a year, CJ. Even you could acquiesce to $4 a year.
Then if the money makes sense, then BMW better be adding a value prop to my CarPlay. They have to make it more functionality, or they have to keep it updated.
Yeah,
they have to do something to it.
They do. Do you want to hear what it is?
Yes. What does BMW add to it?
You're in a fucking BMW.
I guess I'm complaining to the wrong. You're right. At that point, if you own a BMW, what the fuck is the subscription to you?
I give 50 points to Josh's impeccable math skills.
Although he messed up at first.
I did
I don't
fuck
care.
up the
That's
one.
why he didn't get 100. He just got 50.
And you know what? Because you gave Josh 100 points, I think we should award him another 150. Just for
I
you being
gave
a nice
him
guy.
50 points first off.
I agree. And you know what? But you said that he would have given him more, and you know what? He made a better argument, and he won me over. So you know what? He's got 150
I don't
points.
see how that's fair. I was trying to help.
Did I say you could give away points? And you know what?
Apparently Josh can give away points. Why can't I
Josh
give away
gets
points?
another 50 points because he's not bickering with me about points.
Oh, this is all
I do what I want.
Minus 100, sir.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so I guess you're right. If it was Ford doing this, if this was Toyota, if this was Hyundai, if this is any other manufacturer doing this, I think you would get a lot more outrage. But you're right, BMW owners, don't keep their cars for that long, right? They get a new car, a lot quicker than the average owner. You usually have a little more disposable income, so to them, I mean that it's no big deal. And if there's something added to it at all for being a BMW owner,
At all. Yes.
Go for it.
At all. Right.
Okay, all right. I don't like it, but I accept it.
BMW will let Johnny Ives sit in your car and read your text messages. That's what BMW brings
I am
to it.
so sorry. I'm going to take another 50 points off because you said Johnny Ives, and his name is
What
Johnny Ive. And I'm sorry.
Playing the game.
Got to stay. You had such a lead, and then you started getting cocky with it.
I wasn't getting cocky.
Well, Brian, this is your last chance to earn some points because we also, at That Kind of Nerd, love to look at a topic, a product, a movie, whatever it is, and give it the third degree. It's a segment that we call the Nerd Degree. This week's topic surrounds your wonderful, absolutely fantastic Nintendo Switch, Brian.
Ooh, yes, I do love my Nintendo Switch.
Let's look at this. When you look at the other gaming consoles in the market, PC, including the PC, right? It is all about 4K, HDR. It's taking the quality up to another levels. We are getting processing power. We're going for that. Nintendo said, hey guys, when we're looking at the world of gaming, you know what you want? Cardboard toys. Arts and crafts.
Yes.
So enter
want
the
that.
Nintendo Labo. Yeah, it's Labo? I'm going to say Labo.
I think
Well, let's go with Labo.
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 Like laboratory.
We're gonna go with Labo, where you can build. Now, listen, I want you to know this is where you can build your own fishing rod, piano, a little robot backpack.
Yeah.
I
I need all of this.
This is exactly what Nintendo needs to be doing right now. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying this sarcastically. Nintendo just needs to make something that is so different that kids would just gravitate to, It's crafting, which like I'm all about for kids doing crafting. This is really cool.
It's just fun.
Can
Nintendo knows
can you
how to make
explain
gaming
it to
fun.
me? Can you explain to me, Brian, what is this cardboard stuff? How does it work with your Nintendo Switch?
I mean, I don't know, because I watched the video and I was like, how does this fucking work? I don't know.
It's got to have a lot of NFC inside of it, right?
I don't
Brian's
know
over there
how it
going,
works.
what the fuck wizardry is at play?
But I want it,
You
and
know
I
what?
want to find out.
100 points for your honesty.
You're welcome. I just listen. Nintendo just knows how to have fun, and like their games are fun, and their games are family friendly. And let's I mean, not all their games. I mean, there's some like games available on the Switch, like Skyrim, that are more adult themed. But I mean, let's face it. You don't buy a Switch for Skyrim. You buy a Switch for your Marios, your Zeldas, your Splatoons, stuff like that. This whole purpose of this system is to bring people and families together, and that's what this thing is doing. Like, hey, if I had a kid, I do not, but if I had a kid, I would totally be like, hey, let's do this. Let's build this together. Let's have some fun together. Like, this is a really nifty idea, and it's something that's just completely off the beam. We're not worried about what your KD ratio is. We're just going to let you have fun with your console. I'm all on board for this. I will get it and I will build it and alone all by myself. But I'll do it. And it's going to be fun. And I'm going to be like, how does this wizardry work? I will find out how it works. I will report back to you.
So now I had to backtrack and actually just explain what the hell we're talking about so we can go forward.
Didn't you explain it?
Nope, not really. Like it didn't talk about...
The whole point,
So,
from what I can tell.
so Nintendo Labo is you create a cardboard item, so a fishing rod, a piano, some of the stuff that we talked about. You then put your Joy-Con or your actual Switch into this cardboard origami thing, and it becomes a new controller, a new interface to play the game with. There's one that turns it into a tiny arcade. It's really cool.
Is this stuff like shipped
You have to
in
buy it.
kits? So it's preordained, right? Like it's a
Yes.
piano, it's a
Yes.
fishing rod. It's not like
you can't just take all the
I'm
Amazon
ordering-
boxes you have hanging out and just build whatever
Right.
you want.
I'm ordering perforated cardboard.
Yeah, no, it
And
doesn't work that way.
I'm-
Kind of like Google Cardboard VR sets. They're made of cardboard, but they have magnets and stuff inside of it that it
Right.
needs to be
I'm
in a
not
particular place.
forming of ice menorah and then it becomes my Switch.
Correct. Yes, JD.
I think this is a wonderful idea. I will buy all the kits. Maybe not the fishing rod. I don't know why.
You
But
know
you
you're
should
going to play.
fish
No,
with
you
it.
kidding me?
You should totally
That's the first
fish.
one you buy. The
I don't
first
have
one
any
you buy is the
fishing
fishing.
games.
You get a fishing game.
You buy a fucking fishing
Dude,
game and
that
you
is the
fish.
first thing you buy.
Oh, because you know what I could do? I could set up the Switch on the toilet bowl like tank, and then I can make it like I'm fishing in the toilet bowl. That'd be cool. But there's trout living in my plumbing.
And Josh, you may go ahead and let's do our standard metric of rating, like we do every week for the Nerd Degree, for this idea.
As we always do, in terms of childhood innocence, this is 5 happy puppies wagging their tails.
For me,
Out of 5.
this is
out of a possible 5 happy puppies.
out of a possible 5 puppies wagging their tails.
Right.
For me, this is 5 puppies wagging their tails, but their tails are made of cotton candy.
Fucking cotton candy ass tails.
Wow. Cotton candy tails.
Cotton candy tails.
All right. This is for me 5 freshly newborn puppies.
They don't even have tails.
They don't even have tails. There's a straight out the sack.
They can't even open up their little eyes.
But they're so cute. You just gotta you gotta wipe off.
You're
the goop
telling
off
me
their
these are
eyes and
these are the puppies that Cruella DeVille would want to kill to make a coat, right?
Exactly.
Oh.
This is the epitome
5
of childhood
the
innocence,
101.
CJ. Brian is giving them the highest award we've ever awarded any nerd degree.
That is very true. And you know what, guys? I think we've had a wonderful conversation this week. And you know what? I always hate winners and I hate losers, but Brian Thornton, ladies and gentlemen, is getting 7,000 points, making him the winner for this week.
We are the champions, my friend.
The points value is too damn high.
And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Suck it, Josh Burns. Brian just won.
Sorry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Brian Thornton, this week's winner of this show that I have no idea what the hell it's all about. I want to thank you so much for listening to our show. And listen, this is not a one-way street. We always want to hear from you. Talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, or even call us, 484-373-4119. Shoot us a text. Tell us what you think about any of these topics. If there's something we should be talking about, let us know. We always will play your voicemail on the air, read any reviews that leave us on iTunes. So thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. We will see you all next week.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd, and Apple versus Android is a case to be heard, and that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you are that kind of nerd.
I'm fully tumescent right now. This is amazing.
Is that like old Gil from The Simpsons?
Gil's ready for the podcast. Screen to screen.
Welcome everybody to the Not Gonna Nerd. My name is DJ Mullet.
That's the intro. That's just it. You got it.
But
Do that part again, yeah.
My name is CJ Brennan.
My name's CJ, and I like to kiss every boy.
Hello there, ugly one. You're looking very Mickey Outy today. Oh.
Mickey Outy.
I said-
I
said consummate V's. Consummate. Guy with no consummate V's ever bit him in the face. They're the happy ones. Does anyone know what the points are at?